Mostly the stocks I'm looking at are stocks that had pretty good pullbacks the last couple of weeks and sitting on bottoms. Trying to find those low risk, high reward trades, especially in the super choppy market that's all over the place. I'm also going to show you one stock that Charlie Munger and Buffett just bought that could be a potential buy soon. And for that, I'm going to show you a couple other stocks. The first one I have for you is Apple. New iPhone just came out. We're coming up off of a good pullback. We made kind of a little of a gap. It's not a big gap, but it's a little bit of a gap, and kind of pretty much the whole tech market is doing the same thing. So this is one I would watch out for. What I like to do is draw a trend line here across the most recent highs, and then we're going to look for probably a pullback, and then to make another run and reclaim this price here and make sure we don't break below these candles. So if it breaks below these candles next week, then that would be a no-go. But if we can pull back a little bit more, we could probably make a run and probably retrace 50% of this move down here. So what you can do is go over here to the Fibonacci tool in E-Trade Pro right there, and you would just draw a line from the high to the low, and your 50% target would be right at this high right here at about around 148, so about $6 or $7 above its current price. Second stock I have for you is one that I'm already in a trade in, is AMD. I caught this kind of almost a triple bottom here out of this wedge here. We broke out above the trend line here, kind of gapped up, pretty much the same chart, or pretty much the same setup as Apple. We're also running into earnings, so watch out. Make sure, before you enter a trade, whether a stock's reporting earnings or not, you don't want to get caught up in that, because what happens is after a stock reports earnings, the volatility drops off and your option will also drop off in price, even if the stock doesn't move. So keep an eye out for earnings. Tech is a good thing to watch out for and ride about 2 weeks into earnings. So you can usually find pretty good plays doing that. This next stock I have for you is the one I was talking about earlier that Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett just bought a bunch of shares. This China stock, but we're running into it's BIDU, by the way. Huge sell-off for the last several months, and it's definitely kind of ran out of steam. We bottomed out here. We're making a higher low right here and trying to run up again, but we've got quite a bit of resistance at 171. But if we can break 171, I think our first target's going to be around 208. And if you really want to swing trade this, you could probably try to shoot for about half of this drop to about 250, 245 area. Next one I have on the watch list is Peloton. Retesting previous support from back a couple months ago and trying to take off again. Have a lot of upside potential in this stock. I'd like to try to swing trade this stock all the way back up to 117. So what I've been doing is buying options actually about 2 months out instead of a month out like I usually do. It's kind of saving me from all the chop right now, giving me a little extra time for the trade to work in my favor. We're also writing the earnings on Peloton, so keep an eye out for that. What I'd like to do on E-Trade is you can actually go into settings and click to where it will show you all the previous earnings and the ones coming up. That way you don't forget. That was a mistake I used to make when I first started trading, and is I didn't know a stock would trade earnings, and then the next day I'd wake up and the stock traded terrible earnings and it was down $10 a share or something. So this helps me keep from forgetting that earnings is going to play out. Another way you can do it is use Yahoo Finance, and it'll show you when that stock's supposed to report earnings. Last one I have on the list is NIO. NIO is the ticker symbol. Pretty much the same setup as the other ones. Got this big wedge after a couple months of selling off. We're just peaking right here out of this wedge. It's not enough for me to enter the trade, but if we could reclaim this last high here, it could be a potential buy around 37.20. probably 38 to play on the safe side, and then ride it up to the next high of 41. Everything's looking pretty good. We got some volume on Thursday. Could be a hint that the people are picking up shares there. Got a gap up, so we got pretty good support here around 35. It's definitely one to watch out with. I will be gone the rest of this week, traveling to Kentucky, but I'll next weekend I'll try to come back and make another watch list and make another charting video and show you guys and update you on what I'm using to find these stocks. Most recently, because things are always trading, the same strategy doesn't work all the time, so you have to completely switch it up all the time. And I'm going to be showing you guys what's new and what I found that's working for me most recently.